Martin Luther King Day. Um, I'm working today because I decided to work. Usually I go to the symphony on Martin Luther King Day, but there's nothing open, so I'm just watching Charlie. He's taking a nap. I want to just talk about MLK in my own words and what this day means for me. So, my whole life and my biggest desire is that everyone is equal, that we can heal from our trauma and walk together, and that people know their value. People are treated as humans. And something that I want to say is that peace is possible, but there requires a revolution. And Martin Luther King Jr. revolutionized civil rights, the civil rights movement, him and many other people. But I want to talk about him. Growing up in school, we were always taught about peace and how he was marching and how he's held hand in hand with other people, and he did this I Have a Dream speech, but nobody talks about, or at least a lot of schools don't want to talk about the fact that Martin Luther King Jr. was a revolutionary speaker. He promoted peace, but that meant that he had to face a lot of violence and ultimately was killed because of the fact that people did not want to follow his agenda, so they plotted to assassinate him, and they successfully assassinated him. But he was in jail. His house was bombed. He was in jeopardy all the time when he was speaking, and he was a part of movements where people were literally hosed down and dogs went after them and the police treat people unfairly and they were beaten. And still yet he promoted love and peace. But love and peace is not the only part of a revolution. It requires strength, courage, perseverance, dedication, a sense of good morale, and ethics. Today in this world, I really wish that MLK was alive still, because I feel that, and this is what I actually hear from people who are older and who met him. My grandmother's friend, Miss Rochelle, met him, and she's about 70 something, but she met him, and I have other people that have met him too, and they talked about how they felt that a piece of the world died when he died. But the thing is that now we have to pick up the torch as people and as humans and create this revolution again. We have a lot of people that are in the world who are so into capitalism, and the poor are being trampled upon. There's so much racism that minorities and different people are being trampled on. I mean, there's so much hate towards the LGBTQ community. There is so much anti-feminism, meaning like not for women. I mean, women's rights, and women are still being paid less than men. And there's so much work still to be done. There's so much work. And if you want to see something, you have to do something. The time to do what is right is always now. I'm not quoting it perfectly, but that's Martin Luther King's quote. Like, if you have to do something that's right, or you're faced with the decision of, should I do this or not? If it's the right thing to do, you should just do it. And I really pray, and I hope that we can pick up the torch and do what is right and do what's required of us as humans, as people who live on a planet where everyone's supposed to be equal. Look at the planet, it's being messed up now. We have all of this, which is basically capitalism. I mean, the Amazon's being torn down so that they can have more cattle farming. We have all these places that are using too much water, which is why I drink oat milk. Global warming, it's a very warm winter, which is abnormal. I mean, there are so many things. People talk about the winter being great, but it's actually not supposed to be this warm. And so why do I say that in regards to Martin Luther King Day? This has to do with unity and saving the planet and saving people. We have to pick up the torch to help all of these things. And maybe your passion is not the earth. Maybe your passion is not fighting against racism. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's helping heal people. Maybe it's helping become a better therapist. Maybe it's being a nurse. Maybe it's, being a consultant for places that don't know how to do well in their business because of the pandemic that we're in. I mean, you have to use your talents and pick up the torch to do it. But what I want to say is, when you see something that's wrong, especially people that are Christian or people of faith. You know, Islam, Muslim people. Islam is a religion. I'm sorry, I was going to say Islam and Christianity, but I'll also say, because I said Christianity, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddhist, atheist, agnostic, whatever you believe, because ultimately it's a belief. It's our time to remember that all humans are equal, all created under God, created under the divine, created under like universe, whatever you want to call it. We've all been given the same DNA in terms of blood, bones, being able to breathe. We all have this commonality. And so when you see your brother, and I don't mean the person that you were blood related to, but the fact that we are all related. When you see a person, a part of the human species that's bleeding, your brother, your sister, or other, however you identify, but I'm saying brother or sister in terms of the term of unity, you have to stand up for them. And that's the issue now, is that we're so divided. People are so for themselves. People are always thinking about making money and making their business grow and looking after just their family. But we're a big family. The earth is a big, big global family. And once we remember that, the world will get better. And that's why I practice forgiveness and compassion, because that's all that I was taught. And that's really what heals the world. Martin Luther King talked about, forgiveness and compassion. Thich Nhat Hanh, sorry, I don't know if I'm getting his name right. He was a Buddhist and he's from Vietnam, and Martin Luther King worked with him. He talked about, forgiveness and compassion. There's so much in here. And the biggest thing that we can do on this day is to heal ourselves and heal our communities. Because when we heal ourselves, we heal our families. Families heal communities. Communities heal cities. Cities heal the world. Cities heal countries. And countries together heal the world. So that's what we have to do. And remember that there's peace, but it will take a revolution, a big change, and changing the mindset that we're all disconnected. We're not disconnected. We're one race. So happy Martin Luther King Day to all of those that have passed in this time fighting for rights. I salute you. I honor you. To all those that are fighting and that are facing serious oppression for rights. I'm seeing you. I'm trying to do all the research I can. And specifically Martin Luther King Day meant a lot to Black people, to my family. I'm a Black person. I know it's a lot right now, but I think we shall overcome. I do believe that's going to come, and I think we have to just keep believing and keep working towards it, and anything that's worth it is worth work. And so Black Lives Matter, and equality matters, and integrity matters, love and compassion matters. So on this day, remember all these things that I've said. Happy Martin Luther King Day. And if you don't know much about Martin Luther King, there's a lot I could have said here. Just research him. Research what happened in civil rights. Research what happened to people who were not Black, who were supporting the movement of civil rights. Research what happened in that time, because it wasn't just Black people that came together to support, to help. It was a whole bunch of people who came together. And that's what we saw happening this year. And I hope that this revolution can happen. It doesn't have to be violent. But I hope that our mindsets, that's the biggest thing. Our mindsets can make this revolution. So have a great day. Happy Monday. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Bye.